Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I have a really fun video to share with you using this gorgeous Creative Day stamp set from Gina K Designs. It's from the May 2025 release and it comes with coordinating dies as well. I'm also going to be pairing it with the Blossom in Bloom stamp set, which I've had in my collection for quite a while, and it's a great background stamp. The Creative Day stamp set was very kindly sent to me by Morva Crafts, a lovely lady called Melissa runs a shop in Cornwall called Morva Crafts, and she is a stockist of Altenew and Gina K Designs amongst a few other products, and she has a full range of Gina K Designs products in her shop. So if you've not heard of her and you're in the UK and you try to find Gina K products, then she's got a great selection to choose from, and I highly recommend checking out her store. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. So I've pulled a few ink cubes out from my collection. I've got medium spruce, light spruce, lovely lavender, plum punch, dusty rose and sandy beach, but I don't actually end up using the dusty rose today. But first of all, I'm going to do some tone on tone stamping with the background stamp. So I'm going to stamp this lovely lavender ink on this lilac coloured cardstock that I've got in my stash. And so I'm just inking it up with the ink cube. Now I choose to have ink cubes in my collection just because they're easier to store. And as you saw, I store them in like 6x4 photo boxes that I got off Amazon. It's a great way of just keeping them neat in my drawer. I'm definitely still looking for a perfect ink storage solution, but I haven't found one yet. So they're working really well just for now. So I'm adding a few coats of this because it's a background stamp, and I'm using my stamping platform which has quite a hard lid. It can be tricky to get the right amount of pressure because obviously it's quite a big stamp. So I'm adding a few layers of the ink and making sure that I apply pressure in the right places. I'm not too worried about the centre of the stamp because that's going to be covered up, but it creates a really pretty patterned paper for our background. So next I'm going to stamp this gorgeous image of the chair with a bunch of flowers on. I think it's such a unique image and I think it looks really pretty. It could be used for so many different occasions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it in some black VersaFine Clair ink, and then I'm going to heat emboss it with some clear embossing powder. And that's just going to make it a lot easier to colour because today I'm going to be watercolouring my stamped image. So I've been using the Wow Embossing Superfine Clear Embossing Powder, and I'm just heat setting it now from underneath using my heat tool on the hottest setting. This is the Wow Dual Speed heat tool. And then I'm going to just die cut the image out first as well before I watercolour it. So I'm going to use the coordinating dies, and what I really love about the coordinating dies from Gina K is that they cut out all the little details. When it cuts out a sentiment, it cuts out all around the words as well. So it just gives a really nice finish to the stamped image. So I'm just going to run this through my mini die cutting machine now. This is the Spellbinders Scout die cutting machine. I'd held the die in place just temporarily with some washi tape, and you can see there we've got that lovely image ready to go. So to watercolour my image, I am going to be using the ink cubes from Gina K Designs, and I'm using a little paintbrush that I've got in my stash. It's a really small size 1 round brush, and I'm just using the sandy beach colour first of all to add some kind of really light brown to the chair. I can darken it up by making the ink a little bit more concentrated around the top of the chair and around the edge of the chair as well, so that there's a little bit of shading, but I'm not going for anything too complicated here. Once I've done the chair, I'm going to just colour in the vase. Now I've got this silver grey watercolour pencil, but it actually wasn't really bold enough. So although it has kind of added some colour, it's so pale you can't see it on camera, and I am going to change that a little bit later. I'm then just going to add some medium spruce to the leaves of on the flower pot, and then I'm going to add some of the plum punch to the flowers. I do decide to bring in the butterscotch in yellow just for the centres of the flowers because I hadn't really got a colour for the centres of the flowers, and I think that looked really nice. Now just to add some shading again to the vase, again I'm using some watercolour pencils. This is just a cheap Faber-Castell watercolouring pencil set that I've got, and I'm just adding a little bit of black, and then I'm able to drag the colour out with my paintbrush, and I think that just adds the right amount of shading now. So here's a look at the coloured image, and I think it looks really pretty. I am going to pop it aside to dry, and while that's drying I'm going to go ahead and just finish the rest of the elements for my card. So I'm going to use these Waffle Flower A2 piercing dies. They just add a lovely detail around the edge of an image, but I'm just going to use the largest frame just so that it leaves a thin white border. I've got a couple of these ovals on my desk, so I thought they'd be perfect for this project. I'm going to use those up. The center stitch one in white is a Paper Rose Studio die, and the decorative edge one is from Alina Crafts. Now, Gina K Designs does have the master layouts die sets, which are perfect for creating mats and layers and decorative elements on your cards. I don't actually have any of the master layout sets in my collection, but I know that Morva Crafts does stock them. So if you're interested and you want to check those out, they're great because they coordinate really well together in the collection. So I'll leave that link below as well. For the sentiment, I'm going to stamp it in black VersaFine Clair ink, and I've just chosen the sentiment that says, "Where flowers bloom, so does hope." And then again, I'm going to use the coordinating die to cut this out. And I really love how Gina K Designs sentiment dies just cut around the whole of the sentiment. I think it gives such a professional finish. So it's always worth thinking about whether you do want the coordinating dies. I know not everybody does, and you can buy the stamp set on its own, but you can't buy the dies on their own. So if you do change your mind and you want the dies, you'd have to then buy the stamp set and the die set. So think carefully before you make a purchase. I like to have the coordinating dies because I think it just gives you a lot more possibilities with the stamp set. But if you're not too bothered about that, then you can definitely just purchase a stamp set on its own. So I've added some liquid glue to the back of that panel, and while that just sticks down, I'm going to add the two oval layers together as well. And again, I'm just using some liquid glue. This is the Barely Arts glue. Once that's stuck down, I'm then going to add some foam tape to the back of the oval, and I'm going to pop that in the center of the card panel. And adding some foam tape just gives it a little bit more dimension, and I think it just really helps to add a little bit of extra interest to the card as well. Now, I did decide just to line this up by eye today and not add any liquid glue, but you definitely could if you want a little bit of extra wiggle room time. But I knew that if I didn't press it down, I could just manoeuvre it slightly, and then once I pressed it down, it would stick properly. Now, I did just want to make the stamped image a little bit more firm. I didn't want it to be flimsy on the card because it was going to overhang the oval. So I've die cut a couple more of the chair dies just using some plain white cardstock, and I'm going to stack them up together. And that will just add a little bit of dimension behind the stamped image and just give it a little bit more structure so that it doesn't feel flimsy on the card. It actually kind of felt more like a chipboard finish once it was all stuck together. Then I'm going to just hold it down with my magnets on my magnetic glass mat while it dries, and then I'm able to add a little bit of foam tape behind it and stick that on the oval in the centre. I'm just using some Gina K Designs foam squares that I've got in my stash, and then just adding it to half of the image. I'm going to do the same with the sentiment as well, just add a few of those foam squares, just again to give it a little bit more dimension. I really think all of these little things really help to make a card feel a little bit more finished, a little bit more professional, and just to add a little bit of extra interest and make it that bit more special. So once they're all stuck down, I am going to add a few little clear dewdrop gems to finish the card off, and then that will be the card finished for today. So I really hope that you've enjoyed seeing this stamp set and how it creates such a pretty card. I'll leave all the products that I've used linked in the description box below, and if you are based in the UK and you're looking for a Gina K Designs stockist, then definitely go and check out Morva Crafts. She has a really large selection of Gina K Designs products and so much more on her website, so I'll leave that linked below. As always, if you've enjoyed this tutorial, then please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out. Don't forget to leave me a comment, and if you're not subscribed to my channel already and would like to see more from me, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button too, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.